From Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 tonight through 18, maybe 20. We'll see how it goes when I read it. Excuse me, guys. Verse 10. A final word, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on all of God's armor so that you will be able to stand firm against all the strategies of the devil. For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places. Therefore, put on every piece of God's armor so that you will be able to resist the enemy in the time of evil. Then after the battle, you will be standing firm. Stand your ground, putting on the belt of truth and the body armor of God's righteousness. For shoes, put on the peace that comes from the good news, so that you will be fully prepared. In addition to all of these, hold up the shield of faith to stop every fiery arrow of the devil. Put on salvation as your helmet, and take the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Pray in the Spirit at all times, on every occasion. Stay alert and be persistent in your prayers for all believers everywhere. And I will read through verse 20, starting in verse 19 now. And pray for me too. Ask God to give me the right words so I can boldly explain God's mysterious plan, that the good news is for Jews and Gentiles alike. I am in chains now, still preaching this message as God's ambassador, so pray that I will keep on speaking boldly for him as I should. It's from Paul. He was in prison, obviously, and just want to encourage you guys, that we are in a spiritual battle, and just keep that in mind, especially in our current environment in America, politically and culturally. It's not just America, just in this world, anywhere in the world, we're fighting a spiritual battle. Don't forget that, and let's try to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Let's defend the defenseless. Let's treat others as we want to be treated. And there's a lot that can be said about that, but I don't feel like I want to go any further than that right now. I think a lot of you guys can are wise enough to know how to apply those two things in many different situations in your life. But again, remember, do unto others as you would want them to do to you. And we're not just fighting against a political party or a physical person or entity, but there's a spiritual world out there with a real spiritual battle. And so, we need to put on the armor of God, as I just read through, and we should pray, as it says here, in the Spirit at all times. And it says here also that the sword of the Spirit is the Word of God. So we should be in the Word, and we should be praying, and we should love one another and treat others as we want to be treated. So God bless you guys, and I pray the Spirit ministers to you, whether or not you're a believer, that the Spirit is working on your life right now, tonight.